Welcome to another Sports Scene Live from the Tilted Kilt. Glad to have you along with us. The Tilted Kilt's a great place to come visit. Check out the TV screens, check out the menu. Great place to be here. And we got a great show for you. 3 winning coaches here from the Ascension Parish, and we've got the winning coach from St. James as well, as they all won their first rounds of the playoffs. We'll be talking to all of them coming up right after this.
Galvez Seafood, now serving our popular boiled crawfish. Check out our daily lunch and dinner specials. We have something for everyone. Join us for steak night on Thursdays, or sink your teeth into our $5 burger and dollar draft special every Saturday for lunch. Book our private room for your next party or meeting, or let us cater your next function. Locally owned and operated, we pride ourselves on homemade. If you haven't already, come check us out. Galvez Seafood, Highway 42 in Prairieville.
Whether you're hurt by a dump truck or a garbage truck or any kind of commercial vehicle, you may have a big case worth big money. And these are some of the big results I fought to get my clients. Just call me, get it done.
Call 888-8888.
Do you have car problems? The next time you need your automobile towed, make it easy. Just call Tuyes Towing. They offer the most affordable rates in Ascension Parish. For 24-hour towing, call 675-8357. Diaz Tire and Auto Repair invites you to shop with them in Gonzales and the Highway 42 Prairieville location. Bring your school ID and get $5 off oil, lube, and filter. Diaz Tire, Airline Highway Gonzales, and Highway 42 Prairieville.
Whatever your car is doing, we'll check it out and fix it right.
Amco Transmissions on Coursey Boulevard in Baton Rouge, 752-0081.
Double A, MCO.
A&M Heating and Air Conditioning has been locally owned and operated by Tony Arsenault since 1988. They have an honest reputation based on sound advice and great service. Call A&M Heating and Air Conditioning today for all of your service needs. Bertrand's Pharmacy has been providing personal medication counseling for over 30 years. Andy and Jeannie Bertrand, registered pharmacists, honor many prescription plans. Bertrand's is open Monday through Saturday. Phone 644-5641. Got computer problems? Does your computer have a virus? Give us a shot at fixing your computer. Pico Computers has years of experience. Pico will have you up and running in no time. Call today, 647-8882. Tilted Kilt is food, friends, beer, sports, and fun, awaiting you at Gonzales' newest sports pub near Cabela's. Check out the food and views at Tilted Kilt. Hearty meals like sirloin and cheesesteak salad. The Tilted Kilt, home of the Sports Scene Live TV show, Sundays at 3 p.m. Come be a part of the fun.
Welcome back once again to the Tilted Kilt, ready to talk some more high school football with Santa Maria head coach, Coach O, David Oliver. Coach, congratulations on another win, and this one, wow, what a ball game this had to be. Double overtime.
Yeah, the fans all got their money's worth, huh?
Wow. We were keeping up with it in the press box, and you had the lead, and it looked like it was looking good. Next thing you know, North Shore's coming back, and they're getting closer and closer, and right near the end of the thing, they tie it up, and you got to go overtime. Talk about how that game progressed and what happened.
Well, I tell you, it was it was a weird game. We knew that would be a competitive team, and based on the film that we watched, and that's not your typical 28 seed. Now, they're 5-5, but when we examine their record, they were within 3 or 4 or 5 points of everybody. Number 2 seed Covington was like 27-23. They lost to St. Paul in overtime. So, we thought we were looking at a talented team that just hadn't figured out how to win yet, and we jumped on them in the first half. 14-0. Then they snapped a punt over the punter's head and gave it to us at the 5. It was 21-0, and we went into the halftime. And I'm not sure if our kids mentally came out the way they needed to in the second half, but I'm not sure they didn't either. I've said for years, momentum is such a big thing in a high school football game, and we came out and stopped them right out the gate. They got the ball, and then we punted to them, and they had it inside their 10, and on the third play, they hit the tight end down the middle, and we missed a tackle, and he scores from like 75 yards, and so it's 21-7. Then, they had a great kicker. They touched us back, and we moved the ball out to about our 40 and punted it down to their 30 or so. And on the first play after that, they threw up a pop fly, and we had 2 guys in the area, safety and a corner, and their receiver. All 3 guys went up for the ball, and their receiver came down with it, and both our guys fell down, and he kind of had to hop a couple times and pull himself out of these ankle tackles, and he went and scored. It's 21-14, and it kind of stayed that way. And then we had an error on special teams where we returned the favor and snapped a punt, and the punt got blocked. They got the ball inside our 5, and it was 21-21. Less than 2 minutes left. They kick off to us. We get the ball at the 20, first play. Cade Nelson goes 75 yards and gets tackled at the 5, and then he scores, and it's 28-21. So they got to run a 2-minute drive, and they somehow put together a 13-play, 80-something yard drive with, we helped them out with some roughing the passers and late hit penalties and jumping off sides, and got a little sloppy there, and had to blow a couple timeouts because we didn't have the right personnel on the field, and they tied it up into overtime, and we just finally pulled away in overtime. We scored first, and they scored to answer it, and then they had to go first. There was a key third down. They had the ball 3rd and 1 on the 1-yard line, and they ran a little option play, and our defense was all over, and they took like a 6-yard loss. They kicked the field goal, and 2 plays later, Nelson put them away. But it was a crazy, crazy night at the pit, and we're going to have to correct some of our penalties and stuff moving forward in the playoffs.
41-38 was the final in that one, and a big win. You're 10-1 on the year now, but more importantly, 1-0 in the playoffs. And you've got Airline coming up next.
Yeah, everyone's like, boy, I'm surprised it's so close. And, we're like, we're not going to apologize for any playoff wins. Those things are hard to get. So we're going to enjoy that. Airline is, a team from up north. And, we've had a chance to get their film. And, they started out at some point this season. They were 3-3 and have ended up on a 5-game winning streak. They were 7-3 coming in, played Chalmette in the first round and played a very good game at home. It was a tight game at halftime. It was 14-7, and then Chalmette turned over the ball a bunch of times in their own end, and Airline took advantage for a 35-7 win. Defensively, they remind me quite a bit of East Ascension. Good quality defense with, East Ascension has the Knockham kid, and they got a big nose guard that'll be a challenge for our center. And offensively, they, are your typical spread team that gets the ball to the edges to some pretty talented guys in space. But, I look forward to the challenge of another home game at the pit. I'm glad we're at home. I love playing in front of that home crowd.
You mentioned 2 long passes that you gave up. You gave up 353 yards passing. Is that a good concern going into this one?
Yeah, man. Anytime you have, our defense has played great all year, and they played that first half. They totally controlled the tempo of that game for us. And when we got to halftime, they evidently at halftime, their thing was they decided that we're not going to be able to run the balls on these guys, and we're going to have to throw it. So that was totally uncharacteristic of them. They threw that ball over 40 times for the game. So, a couple of them were just, there was 2 or 3 of these long gains that I'm just going to break down to poor tackling. But we do have some things to correct also.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Carrying that excitement on and winning a game, that just amplifies it even more. You're down to the final 16 now. How do you approach your next game as far as mentally getting ready for this one?
Well, I kind of think that this thing worked out the best for us because we got through the first round and got through the nerves of the first round with a win. And, we earned through our regular season work another game at home. And, that game was awesome, environment on the last 2 Fridays. You talk about the EA environment was unbelievable. And our home fans last week just did an awesome job. When you go into overtime, you flip end zones. And, we flipped to the end zone in the second overtime away from our student section. You saw people get out of their seats and run down to the sideline and just to cheer us on and to be loud. And so I think we're going to have a better performance, and I don't think we're going to have a hard time getting up for this Friday night at the pit.
The playoffs is a great time of year. There's no question about it. It's a great opportunity for seniors to continue their career. It's got to be a fun time for a head coach too.
It is. You get. I tell you, it's a time because you're totally focused on the next opponent. But, during practice, sometimes during the week, it gives you an opportunity to throw some of the young guys into like a little inside internal scrimmage. We call it a rookie scrimmage where they get a few pops against each other. This is the time where you really are focusing on this year's team, but you can really start to see the outlines of next year's team. You know, who could maybe fall into this spot and who fits here. And so it's kind of a neat time to you enjoy this year's success, but you never forget that, man, some of these kids, the lessons that they're learning going through the playoffs here are going to help us in spring practice and help us as we move forward to the 2018
I think
season.
that showed this year, because last year you lost a lot of seniors, and this year you had a senior type team that hadn't played a lot but had gotten that experience from the year before.
Absolutely, and this year we're going to at some point say goodbye to these 32 seniors, but we got 40 juniors ready to step up and provide that leadership. So hopefully they're learning from this environment. They're learning from, you know, playing in these games that are tight, that matter, where there's a lot at stake. So, you know, that's what builds a program, and we feel like we've done a pretty good job of that.
No doubt about that. 10-1 on the year, but as I mentioned, 1-0 in the playoffs. Playoff game number 2 will be at home against Airline. We look forward to that, and we wish you the best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at our player of the week.
Ben Parker and Galvez Seafood Company, our corporate sponsor, would like to present this plaque along with Sports Scene Magazine and TV to Ben. Our plaque sponsor is Casa Maria Mexican Grill, and congratulations on being our player of the week.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank all my teammates and our entire coaching staff for always putting me in positions to be successful.
I'll tell you what, you guys have had a great year, and it doesn't end yet. You've got the playoffs coming up, and it gets exciting this time of year.
Yes, sir. I think we're well prepared, and we have a lot of momentum going into the playoffs, so we should make a good run this year.
I was wondering when you were going to get picked, because you've had some good games all along the year, and you were a player of the week last year. I'd like to have you comment about what you do, what your responsibilities are as a safety.
Well, as a safety, I'm secondary run support, primary pass. So, you know, I'm kind of the if a play pops or, you know, whatever, I'm always there to make the tackle and live to fight another down.
What do you look for when they, I want to say break huddle, they don't break huddle anymore, but when they come up to the line, what do you look for?
Well, first I get my, I read the guards first to tell whether it's a pass or a run, and then they usually take you to the ball. It goes from the guards and then the quarterback and then ball lane. You just get your reads, and then that takes you to the football almost every time.
How about kick returns? What do you look for there? You do a good job on that.
Yes, sir. I just, you know, it's all about seeing how many blockers you have, how many people are going to be in your face, and you just got to, you know, read which way they're coming, and then you pick the opposite way.
You got to concentrate on that ball, and yet you got people coming down at you.
Sir, it's hard at times, but you just have to focus on the ball and then focus on catching the ball first, then making a run.
Well, congratulations once again on being Player of the Week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ben Parker.
Galvez Seafood, now serving our popular boiled crawfish. Check out our daily lunch and dinner specials. We have something for everyone. Join us for steak night on Thursdays, or sink your teeth into our $5 burger and dollar draft special every Saturday for lunch. Book our private room for your next party or meeting, or let us cater your next function. Locally owned and operated, we pride ourselves on homemade. If you haven't already, come check us out. Galvez Seafood, Highway 42 in Prairieville. Your custom-built dream home is more affordable than ever at Roland Homes. Quality comes first on all our modular and manufactured homes. Roland Homes has a huge inventory in many styles and floor plans. And if we don't have it, we'll custom build it, so you'll find the right home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. New or pre-owned, financing is available. Plus, home improvement and repairs are even easier with Roland Homes parts and accessories now on site for your convenience. All at one location to better serve you. Roland Homes in Prairieville.
Big O Tires is now open in Sanama. They offer tires, alignments, brakes, and oil changes. If it's got tires, we've got you covered. Stuck on the road? Call their 24/7 roadside assistance number, 445-3635. Big O Tires in Sanama.
They swarm, they nest, they will destroy your home.
Eliminate the colony and eliminate termites for good.
We're one of the area's largest volume leaders in Centricon installations. Call the original Salvant. Call the Bug Man.
923-BUGS.
Automotive repairs? We've got you covered. Tyrus Total Automotive in Prairieville and Sanama Muffler and Brake Service. See us for CV shaft work, brakes, tune-ups, air conditioner, tires, and diagnostics. Wherever you are in Ascension Parish, visit one of Tyrus' convenient locations. Bro Welding and Industrial Supply prides themselves on same-day delivery. Customer service is our #1 priority. They deliver on time, every time. Bro Company, serving the area for over 30 years. On the web at broco.com. See FOT Financial Services for all your money needs. They have loans for any worthwhile purpose. Auto, furniture, appliance, home improvement, and vacation loans. Celebrating over 50 years of service, FOT Financial Services. Outmuscle the outdoors with a Kawasaki Brute Force 300 featuring sporty performance and agile handling, or try the Brute Force 750 with twin-engine digital fuel injection and automatic transmission, available at Lightspeed Motorsports. Got computer problems? Does your computer have a virus? Give us a shot at fixing your computer. Pico Computers has years of experience. Pico will have you up and running in no time. Call today, 647-8882. Tilted Kilt is Gonzales' newest sports venue. You'll find refreshing new food choices with appetizers like loaded tater tots, pub nachos, bacon cheeseburger sliders, and beer battered onion rings. Check out the food and views at the Tilted Kilt near Cabela's, home of the Sports Scene Live TV show, Sundays at 3 p.m.
Welcome back to the Tilted Kilt, everyone. Ready to talk with Darnell Lee, head coach at East Ascension, and a victorious coach, 35-14 over East Jefferson. EJ, whew, what a ball game, Coach! Congratulations.
Thank you.
It didn't start out the best way. You lose a fumble at the 5-yard line. You give them a very short field. A 5-yard drive is all they had to do, right. And they got a 7-0 lead on you right away. Wow.
Yeah, they did, man. And Coach Frank does a good job with his team over there. They were kind of hot coming in on a 2-game win streak and playing some good football. And anytime you face those double-wing teams, it's late in the year and you've been playing spread all through the district, it kind of makes you a little nervous. But Coach Zachary does a great job with our defense, and we just put them in a bad situation with a turnover.
Now, a double wing, just to let people know, it's an older formation. A lot of people already know about that, but some of the younger ones may not have ever heard of it. You've got two halfbacks, basically, but they're almost like, I don't know, what slot receivers almost. Yeah. They're out on the wings. And that way you can run left, you can run right, you can run reverses. But what it does is really is more of a primary running attack, isn't it?
It is assignment football.
And therefore, if you fall behind, it's tough to get back in the lead, and that's what happened. It was 7-7 at the end of one quarter, 14-7 at the half. East Ascension had the lead, and then 28-7, and then 35-14 was the final. But it was really a dominant game from your standpoint. I think, even though the score at halftime was 14-7, you had pretty much doubled up their stats.
Yes, sir.
But their time of possession was almost like 3 times yours.
Yeah, we had a lot of explosive plays. We played Santa Maria. Jamel was a little banged up, but this week our goal was to go out and be more consistent on offense and give him as many touches as we could.
And you mentioned that the emotional thing, part of it, I'd like to bring that out. You had a great opportunity there to have a real letdown. I mean, right. to really get them back mentally after losing such an emotional game at the end of the year.
Right.
Talk about your preparation, how you got them ready mentally to get ready for a playoff game.
Well, first of all, they were excited to be in the playoffs, and we didn't want to be one and done. And coming off that, I think it was coming out on the short end of the stick against Santa Maria. It's more. You can go back and you find all kinds of things you did wrong and you correct those mistakes. But we just stayed even keeled through the week and just focused on technique. It's an assignment football week, but East Jeff had some athletes on offense, man. If they got loose, you were in trouble. We saw them get loose on Landry Walker and John Ehret, and they couldn't catch them. So we knew we had to come out and play ball.
I talked to their coach before the game, Frank Alello, and he did help me out a lot with a lot of information about his team. And he says his team was one of the smaller teams in the district that he played in. I cannot believe that. They had a 325-pound tackle, a 293-pound center. I mean, they had some giants.
They did. No, he sold me that same on the phone, talking to him. He was like, "Oh, Coach, you're not going to get much." I mean, watching you guys look like junior college on film, the big D-line. And, Coach, they get off the bus. I'm like, whoa. That's not the team. He must have got new players. Those aren't the players. But
had some ringers in there.
Oh, man. But, he's a good guy, man. I had a pleasure talking to him during the week. Old school guy, believing that old school football.
Well, it was a tough ball game, a good win, and a very competitive ball game. Even though the score 35-14, it really was pretty much indicative of how the game ended up. Like I said, their time of possession. I had the numbers here. It was so one-sided. It was incredible. But again, you said because you had Massey had a big run. Jamel had a big run.
Yep. And Thomas Levy came and had a good run. We hit Levy on a long pass that was like a 10-15 second drive almost. And that's what we were looking for, consistency on the defensive side. And and trying to get our athletes the ball in space and do a better job of being more productive. Coach Young, my offensive coordinator, moved to the press box, and that helped him tremendously. He was able to see a lot better. And you know, I think
they tried
overall,
to test the middle of your defensive line, and with Stanford knock him in there, and the other guys. I mean, you just don't move him out of the way.
Yeah, it's hard to move Stanford. You know, and you know, you have to double team him, and that's what everybody does. It's just, you know, I think Santa Maria was more effective with it with the big 6'4" center. But for the most part, I mean, he's been the anchor of the defensive line, and you force him to have to run it to a Deshaun Hall or a Jordan Campbell. And, you know, that's a plus for us.
Yeah, with Hall and Campbell there, and of course then your linebackers are very active once if they do get past those three guys.
Yeah, so Adrian Johnson was a tailback. You know, he's a 4'5" guy at linebacker, so he's over there running around making plays. And Darren Wilson is more of a true Mike linebacker. He's a headstrong kid who he quarterbacks the defense for us.
Yeah. Now offensively, again, you had the big plays, but you also had the opportunity to have good field position throughout.
Yes,
and that was a key to the game too, I thought.
Yeah, you know, we come out and it's that time of the year. It's playoff time, and you have to be efficient in all aspects of the game.
All right, now you've got Live Oak,
yes,
round 2, Sweet 16, but you got to go on the road.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, we go to Live Oak and scrimmage every spring.
Oh,
so that's the reason why we do that. So that and then we schedule Parkview. Those 2 games prepare us for teams like East Jeff, and of course seeing Live Oak again in the playoffs. You know, so. We've been there, we're familiar with it. I mean, it's going to be a great game, a great atmosphere. They have a superior following, not superior of the Spartans, because our people have been there all year long, and you know, we're looking forward for them coming out this week. And
give us a good scouting report on their offense and defense.
Brett Beard, hard-nosed football. You know, it's going to be downhill football, big 260-pound fullback. The offensive line fires off the ball. They do a good job of blocking. They went up to Sulphur, and Sulphur's a spread team, and they pretty much dominated the line of scrimmage. They took it straight to them. Defensively, you know, they run a 3-4 like we do. They get the athletes on the edges. They have 2 great corners, big physical outside linebackers, good solid defensive line. Special teams, they have good special teams. So, I mean, you know, it's that time of the year. It's playoff time. You know, it's going to be a great game.
The excitement for EA to be back in the playoffs, to be back winning a game in the playoffs and moving on to 16 is got to be exciting for you and certainly for your players.
We're loving it. We're loving it, man. It's an exciting time of the year. We're getting guys back. I mean, Nick Massey, we got him back a couple of weeks ago, but had a little deal where he had to sit out a little while. You know, playing. I mean, it's not, you got to get Jamel the ball. You have a guy like Jamel. Every quarter, you have to get him at least 2 to 3 touches. I mean, he's got right now right at 59 carries for over 800 yards, and
that's incredible.
And 14 touchdowns. You know.
Yeah.
And, so I mean, we're crazy if we don't get him the ball.
Well, he can score on offense, he can score on defense, he can score on special teams. He can score anytime he has the ball in his hands.
That was the 8th touchdown call back on him this year. You know, that was his 3rd punt return call back.
I saw him get really upset on one play. He had a chance for an interception. It looked like a center fielder going back to catch the ball. And if he had caught that one, he might have taken it back the other way.
Anytime he gets it, man, there's an opportunity of him taking it back.
Cameron Wire might be able to play this next week. He was held out again another week. Well, we look forward to another week of exciting football with the playoffs, and we look forward to seeing you again next week, and hopefully it'll be another W for you.
Yes, sir, we are too. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Let's take a look now at last week's Play of the Week.
Ryan Gremion and Sports Scene Magazine, along with Galvez Seafood Company, would like to present this plaque to Ryan, and our plaque sponsors, Pot and Paddle, Jambalaya Kitchen. Congratulations on being Player of the Week.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, I'd like to thank my coaches. They helped me a lot throughout the week preparing for our week's game. I got to, first of all, second of all, thank my my blocking team. Couldn't do it without them.
Well, I tell you what, you guys have come a long way from last year. You're a district champion this year, and you got to feel pretty good about that.
I mean, yes, we feel good. Obviously, would have liked to win it outright, but that's the way it fell. I mean, not much more you can do now, but it feels really good to be co-district champs.
Now you want to bounce back, and you're in the playoffs, and it all starts all over again, all new record.
0-0. So our whole mentality throughout the season was going undefeated. Unfortunately, we didn't do that with the last game, but now we focus week by week because that's what the playoffs are all about.
Yeah, this has got to be an exciting time of the year when you get into the playoffs and that sort of thing. And you can't look past your first game, but that first one's coming up. When people see this, that game will be completed. Hopefully it'll be a W for you.
Hopefully. That's what we're hoping for. We've been working hard all week. I think we've gotten better from last week's game. Should be a good atmosphere this Friday.
How do you feel about the pressure of the game? Let's say it gets down to the last 3 seconds of the game. You got a 40-yard field goal to kick. Tell us about that.
In that situation, I think about it like any normal kick. I mean, that's the thing. That's the whole routine of being a kicker. I mean, you have to repeat your process, trust your steps. I would kick that like I would kick an extra point. I mean, nothing changes.
I'll tell you what, congratulations once again on being Player of the Week.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan Grimion, kicker.
Marchand's Interior and Hardware Specialist. You got it made.
Come into our showroom and let our experts guide you through our large selection of today's latest trends. Marchand's flooring and countertop collections offer these styles with unbelievable prices. And at Marchand's, we install it all. Come in to see all of the promotions and specials going on now.
With Marchand's Interior and Hardware Specialist, you got it made.
Galvez Seafood, now serving our popular boiled crawfish. Check out our daily lunch and dinner specials. We have something for everyone. Join us for steak night on Thursdays, or sink your teeth into our $5 burger and dollar draft special every Saturday for lunch. Book our private room for your next party or meeting, or let us cater your next function. Locally owned and operated, we pride ourselves on homemade. If you haven't already, come check us out. Galvez Seafood, Highway 42 in Prairieville.
Abear Steel Incorporated, Gonzales and Baton Rouge, offers structural steel fabrication. Abear Steel is a proud supporter of all high school sports in this area. Phone 644-5316 or 291-2144. Selling your home? Rick Gotro with Realty Executives in Prairieville can do a comparative market analysis to properly value your home before it goes on the market. Call Ricky today, 715-7256.
Pedrine's Portable Buildings invite you to visit their new location on the Airline Highway in Prairieville. Pedrine's offers free estimates, free delivery in surrounding areas, and setup. We do workshops, outdoor kitchens, even snowball stands. Pedrine's Portable Buildings.
It's hurricane season. Rescom Electric installs Generac generators for residential and commercial customers. Keep your family and business safe. Call Rescom Electric today for your Generac generator, 622-3647.
BNC Electric in Gonzales and Baton Rouge has starters, alternators, generators, and batteries for autos, trucks, marine, tractors, forklifts, and heavy equipment in stock. BNC Electric, starter and alternator headquarters, serving Gonzales and Baton Rouge. Got computer problems? Does your computer have a virus? Give us a shot at fixing your computer. Pico Computers has years of experience. Pico will have you up and running in no time. Call today, 647-8882. For sports, food, and fun, it's the Tilted Kilt in Gonzales. All sports fans will enjoy entree choices like beer-battered fish and chips, grilled pork chops, smothered chicken, and more. Check out the food and views at Tilted Kilt near Cabela's Parkway, and come be a part of the Sports Scene Live TV show Sundays at 3 p.m.
Welcome back to the Tilted Kilt, everyone. Ready to talk with Guy Mistretta, head coach at Dutchtown. His team now 7-4, but more importantly, 1-0 in the playoffs. That's the
absolutely.
key one.
Yeah, absolutely exciting.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Kids really played hard.
Well, you were down 24-7 at the half. What did you do to make the adjustments, and what happened in that second half?
Really, the adjustments weren't scheme-wise. It was mentally getting our guys to settle down and play like they were capable. Up front, on both offense and defense, we felt like we were winning the battles in the first half. But we turned it over, something we hadn't been doing lately. We turned it over, had a couple of special teams miscues, which has been a strength of ours as well. So it was kind of, we shouldn't have been in the position we were in. So that gave us a little confidence coaches-wise. But the kids, you know, we had to get them mentally back into the game and excited. And we did, and they came out in the second half and really played great and just never quit believing.
You won that second half really 21-0. You shut them out on one end, and you scored 3 touchdowns on the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm really proud of this group for a lot of reasons, but their resiliency and their perseverance that they've shown over and over throughout the year, you know, it's been something that just makes you feel really good and always gives you an opportunity
good news is that you've won a game. Now, I guess in a sense, the bad news is you got to play the number 1 seed, West Monroe, 11-0. You will be able to host that game. Yep. But I'm going to tell you something. The way you played Covington earlier in the year, you can play with West Monroe.
Well, you know, it's about our guys playing our best game, believing in ourselves and playing our best game. All the respect in the world for West Monroe and the program they have. They're a very good football team. They're well coached. They've got size. They've got speed. They've got everything you're looking for. But it's not about them. It's about us. We've got to have another great week of preparation. We've got to go out and play our best football game. And if you do that, you accept the results.
For our Sports Scene magazine, we always like to have what we call the insights, and that's a kind of a scouting report on the team. So give us an offensive scouting report and then a defensive scouting report on West Monroe.
Well, on both sides of the ball, the strength is up front. Their lines are big and physical on both sides, especially on the defensive side. That's going to create some issues with the running game, having time to pass. So that's a big concern of ours. Offensively, their line's really good, but their quarterback is really a special player. He's a commitment to Alabama. Really, he's made some incredible plays throughout the year, so containing him is going to be key.
And then on the defensive side, what about that?
You know, defense, again, dealing with that massive defensive front they have, we'll have to scheme to help our guys in that situation.
You guys, how are they physically going into this one now?
We're pretty healthy. You know, we like everybody, we're banged up. But besides Ben Mays, we've got all our guys and just got to get them, rested up for Friday.
That 2-quarterback system seems to be working, and it's not really a 2-quarterback system if you think about it, because Noah Gray more of is a wildcat kind of a guy. Right?
He is, although his passing isn't bad.
Okay.
He's coming along there, and But it is what it is. I told the guys the other day, it's our identity now. So it's, forget talking about it. It is who we are, and let's go play and do our best. And, Dre Monroe started this one. Noah started last week. Dre started this week, and he scored the game winner with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, you talk about exciting games. I mean, you expect playoffs to be exciting. You were a 17, they were a 16, so you kind of figured it was going to be a fairly even matchup. But, man, to fall behind like that, when we heard the score at halftime, we thought, well, they had a good year, and it fell apart for them there in the playoffs. And then to come back and win it, like you said, the resiliency of this team. It's just
and
you got to feel good about it.
You do, and there's so many life lessons that football teaches. But the never quit attitude is one of the greatest, and that's what I'm so proud of. And they've done it time and again this year. So, just
at this point of the year, I guess it becomes more of a mental game than it does physical, doesn't it?
It does. We just had that conversation as a staff before I came here today. Practices, adjust them. It's all about being healthy, mentally ready to go come Friday night.
Would weather be a factor in a game like this? I mean, would that help you or hurt you, or in other words, would it slow them down if it was wet, that type of thing?
I don't think so. I think they're a solid club, and they're used to being successful, and programs like that, they take what comes, and that's one of the things I talked to the guys about in our meeting Saturday morning. Is the one good thing about playing these top teams, a West Monroe, a John Curtis. Those teams do what they do. They don't change from week to week. The scheme's not very difficult to figure out. It's a matter of you playing your best and continuing to compete with them. Limiting the mistakes, because they'll take advantage of those in a heartbeat.
I know in baseball sometimes there was controversy about some teams watering a field down to keep the bunts and things like that. I was thinking maybe you could take the hose and water it down if you thought it would help you.
Hey.
I'm only kidding, of course. The excitement of this year, I think, is beyond the expectations of maybe what you expected at the beginning of the year. Maybe I'll step into the boundaries of saying that, but
I don't. We don't look at it that way. We just prepare as best we can. We're really happy about where we are and where we've come from. You know, I think the one thing that we've talked about all year, we didn't set goals for the end of the year. Our goals were day to day. Let's improve. Let's come out every day and be productive. And if I look back, I can't find a day that we weren't. In practice, in meetings, in workouts, in games, we've continued to improve, and that's all we've asked.
And you've been in every game, really. I mean, you look back, a play here, play there, whatever, the first half or the second half.
Yeah, you know, and had a couple of them look like they were getting out of hand, and our guys just kept plodding along, and you know, all of a sudden you grab a little momentum and you make some plays.
Well, we're going to be excited to talk next week about hopefully another win, and you're in the final 16 now, the Sweet 16, if you will, and it's an exciting time for the fans, exciting time for the players, and certainly you being the first year there, that's going to be an exciting time for you too, I think.
It is. I think we're all excited. It's going to be a great atmosphere in Griffin Stadium Friday night, and we'll do our best to be practicing Thanksgiving week.
All right, let's take a look now at the Player of the Week for this past week.
Galvez Seafood Company would like to present this plaque to Blake Cozy, who is the Player of the Week. Our plaque sponsor is Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Tony Gudo, our local agent, and Allstate. Congratulations on being Player of the Week.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. I would first off like to give a shout out to the coaching staff on how they prepared us for last week's game. We faced a lot of adversity with losing the quarterback in the previous week, and we came out together with a brand new system, and then my teammates and I came out with a proper mindset to be able to face that adversity and to get our minds right to be able to win this game. And we all came together and played a really good game, and I really appreciate every last one of them.
And 6-4 is a lot better than 5-5, right?
Oh, yes, sir. It's 100% better. I appreciate to where no matter what, we'll come out the season being a winner.
I tell you what, you guys had a lot of pressure on you, and I got to, because of the quarterback Ben Mays being out, they had two backup quarterbacks, one being a wide receiver, Noah Gray, who played the Wildcat. I got to tell you, this is the first time we've had an offensive lineman be our Player of the Week. I got to congratulate Gus Mastretta, the head coach, for naming you the Player of the Week, and you are really representing all the offensive linemen in the parish, because without you guys, the game isn't played as far as I'm concerned. You don't get stats for the offense. You don't get stats for the team. You guys don't get stats because you're blocking everybody, you know?
Offensive linemen are the unsung heroes of the offense. Without us, nothing can happen. Like, if we didn't block, then the quarterbacks could not pass the ball to the receivers, and the receivers wouldn't be able to get time to be able to do their routes. The running backs couldn't get through those holes to be able to score the touchdown. So I enjoy being that unsung hero. And all the other offensive linemen, I think that we all have that same mindset. Like, we are the workmen who will just come in and work each and every day and just do our jobs to where the pretty boys can get their shine.
I like that. The offensive linemen, man, you can't win without them, that's for sure. And we want to congratulate you again on being an outstanding player this week. And your plans for the future?
I plan to go to UL and major in pre-med, and that's the goal.
That's a great goal to have, and you got the playoffs coming up as well. Maybe you can comment a little bit about that. It's going to be an exciting time for you, senior.
Oh yes, sir. As a senior, we realize our time's almost up for high school football, and we all just want to come out and give our all, because you don't know whenever it's your last day, and no matter what, your last day is coming up pretty soon. So we're going to come out this week of practice and work extremely hard, and then on Friday night versus Slidell, we're all going to come out and play as hard as we possibly can.
Well, I'm excited that an offensive lineman finally got Player of the Week. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Offensive tackle, Blake Cozy.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone, from the blue chip athlete to blue collar worker. If your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Peak Performance by name, getting you back in the game of life.
Saturday for lunch. Book our private room for your next party or meeting, or let us cater your next function. Locally owned and operated, we pride ourselves on homemade. If you haven't already, come check us out. Galvez Seafood, Highway 42 in Prairieville.
If it's glass you need, you can depend on Airline Glass and Upholstery, 724 Airline Highway, Gonzales. They've been taking care of your glass and upholstery needs since 1972. Give Stephen or Tanya a call today at 647-1040. Ascension Ready Mix supplies concrete for residential, commercial, and industrial clients. They're a locally owned company with locations in Prairieville and Baton Rouge. Ascension Ready Mix, phone 677-7177. Acadian Custom Cabinets creates a custom product to your specs. They're professionals that do incredible work that lasts for years to come. The owner is hands-on to give you exactly what you want. Acadian Custom Cabinets, phone 622-6337. Bruyette's Automotive Paint and Body are collision repair specialists. Their certified trained technicians offer state-of-the-art repair. They offer free estimates and all insurance claims are welcome. Bruyette's Automotive Paint and Body. BNC Electric in Gonzales and Baton Rouge has starters, alternators, generators, and batteries for autos, trucks, marine, tractors, forklifts, and heavy equipment in stock. BNC Electric, starter and alternator headquarters, serving Gonzales and Baton Rouge. Outmuscle the outdoors with a Kawasaki Brute Force 300 featuring sporty performance and agile handling, or try the Brute Force 750 with twin-engine digital fuel injection and automatic transmission, available at Lightspeed Motorsports. Tags and Titles is your one-stop shop for all your DMV and notary needs. Renew your driver's license, ID card, or handicap ID. If it has wheels and a title, they can handle it for you at Tags and Titles, located in Sanama. Got computer problems? Does your computer have a virus? Give us a shot at fixing your computer. Pico Computers has years of experience. Pico will have you up and running in no time. Call today, 647-8882. For sports, food, and fun, it's the Tilted Kilt in Gonzales. All sports fans will enjoy entree choices like beer-battered fish and chips, grilled pork chops, smothered chicken, and more. Check out the food and views at Tilted Kilt near Cabela's Parkway, and come be a part of the Sports Scene Live TV show Sundays at 3 p.m.
Welcome back once again. We have Robert Valdez now, the head coach at St. James, 39-0, a win over Marksville. All these playoff games have been close, they've been tight, they've been exciting. This one, you put them away early. Congratulations.
You know, it was good for my blood pressure. I think that, you know, I'm proud of our kids and just how they endured the season. We played a real tough schedule. And, you know, looking at the guys, the teams that we've beaten, the teams that we lost to, you know, De La Salle, St. Charles Catholic, and Santa Mont, real good Santa Mont team, really prepared us for this moment, and we're actually getting some kids back healthy. And
you've been able to bounce back from losses too. That says a lot about you as a head coach, I think.
But you know, the thing about it is that you have to be able to use those as learning. I think you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. I think that you kind of look at what you did wrong and what are the things that you can improve upon. And you know, I have great coaches. I got a good coach staff, and defensively we're playing extremely good football. Coach Taylor, my defense coordinator, is doing a good job. Coach Barlow, offensive coordinator, has done a tremendous job. So, and the leadership of our team, you know, our seniors are doing real good. So I'm just excited. I mean, hopefully we can just keep the magic carpet ride as long as we can.
Historically, 3A has been a very competitive division in the division level. It really has been.
It's tough, I tell you. I've been in 1A and then with 5A and 3A just makes you scratch your head, man. Cause there's a lot of real good, you know, it's a lot of really good quality community programs. And when you play these schools, you play the whole community, you play the whole town, and so 3A is one of those divisions that you got to bring it every week. You got to, because you never know, you just never know.
I think the only difference in the divisions is the number of players you might have. You might have 60 or 70 players at 5A, but you may only have 30 or 40.
Right. And, you know, like I said, and you talk about quality players, and 3A, you're looking at maybe about 20 quality and about 40, 45 on the roster, maybe 50 and all that. But those guys, they just play with a different level of passion because they don't have to come off the field. Some of those guys, they play the whole game.
Well, that's right.
And you know, bigger schools, you can get a break on offense, defense, or special teams. Some of these guys in 3A, they're playing the whole game and they're laying on the line.
Talk about your next opponent and give us a scouting report.
We'll play Madison Prep our next point. We're going to Baton Rouge, play Madison Prep, and and they're freakishly good looking on film when you when you watch them. And, you know, and we have talent. At St. James, we have talent. We have speed. But when you watch them, like, man, you know, where's the weakness? You know, where do you attack? They're a power offensive team led by running back number 2. I don't quite know his name, but he's a very nifty, strong runner, big, huge offensive line. Quarterback does a good job, and then defensively, I mean, they play man to man. They're not. That's it, man to man, and they just get after it. You know, so for us, you know, that the good thing about it is that the teams that we played prepared us to this point. This is going to be a big game for both teams because we do some things that probably are going to pose concerns to them. You know, my hats go defensively. At this time of the year, you want to be playing real good defense. So I think our defense is going to give us a chance to win. We just got to do enough offensively to be able to, you know, get a win.
You started out sounding like Bear Bryant. I remember watching his TV show, and he used to almost say the next opponent was almost impossible to beat, and then he'd go out there and beat him up pretty good.
Well, you got to, you know, that's the old coaches. That's coaching one-on-one. Coaching one-on-one, you know, you always want to, you never want to make sure you give the other team any bulletin board material. You want to make them feel as best as they can. But they're good. They're very good. They've also played a tough schedule to prepare them. And like I said, our guys are good too, and this is the postseason. You know, this is to get us to what I call the barometer week, which is, you know, how you know measure your program. If you're still playing Thanksgiving, you're doing pretty good. You know, so
no doubt.
Yeah, so we like to still be practicing the week of Thanksgiving and all that. So I'm excited, and I think it's going to be good football. I think that at this time of the year, everywhere you look across the board, is really good football being played.
And everybody should be in good condition at this time of the year. I don't mean injury-wise. I'm just talking about physically conditioned. And so more of it just becomes a mental game.
It's chess. It becomes chess because, you know, look at last week. It was cold last Friday night, and so you're not going to get guys that get winded or get tired in those conditions. Now it becomes it really is about, you know, which team has been able to really get good at doing the base. At the fundamentals, at their game plan. Who understands their game plan, their schemes more, and can go effectively run it week in and week out?
Avoid penalties.
Exactly. If you can do that, if you can avoid beating yourself, if you can go out there and execute your game plan, because you have to have been doing something right to get to this point. So if you can continue to do those things, then it really will help you.
Well, we really appreciate you coming by and being with us today, and we wish you the best of luck. Love to see the 3A championship be St. James.
Oh man, me too.
Unfortunately, Letcher was beaten in the final seconds of play in their game, and
right.
And then we still got 3 alive here on the 5A level.
There you go.
So we're doing pretty good, right?
Well, we'd like to keep you guys busy, man. We really like to keep you guys busy, and I appreciate what you guys do for our region and for our kids. And so, you know, every week is what I tell our kids, this is a single elimination tournament. The goal is to just go 1-0 every week. Yeah. You know, so we have one goal this week is Madison Prep, all our energy is on them, and then just trying to go 1-0 this weekend.
All right, well, good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you. All right.
And we'll take a look at our player of the week.
Sports Scene Magazine, along with St. James Parish Hospital, our corporate sponsor, would like to present this plaque to Jason Dumas, our defensive lineman and player of the week. And our plaque sponsor is the St. James West Bank Clinic, a department of St. James Parish Hospital. Congratulations on being our player of the week.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank God, first of all, for giving me this award. And I just want to thank my coaches and my teammates for giving me this opportunity to help them play and win last week.
Well, I tell you what, y'all have had a great year, but it's all over again, the playoffs now.
You just got to go one step at a time. We're trying to be 1-0 for these 5 weeks and bring it home.
Each week is a new week and a new challenge. Talk about your defensive position. What do you look for? What are some of your keys when you're playing?
Some of my keys is playing the reach block, the base block, and the down block. So I talked to my coach about it, about going back to technique, and he said you gotta look if he's heavy or light. And light means it's a pass or he pulling. And when you're going down, I gotta make sure I squeeze to keep him on my linebackers. When you're reaching, I gotta make sure I get outside, keep contained. And base block, I gotta win that because whoever's stronger will win, and I gotta play it right.
Bull rush or swim move for you?
I'm more of a bull guy. That's me.
Well, I tell you what, y'all are having a great year, and hopefully that will continue. When people see this, you'll have already played your first round of the playoffs. And talk about your opponent.
Marshall, they do a lot of power games, and first thing we try to do is just stop them and get them in their regular offense, and then after that we can have a lot of fun.
It should be a lot of fun. Congratulations again on being our Player of the Week.
Thank you.
Jason Dumas, defensive lineman.
See Gonzalez Military for a big selection of kids' camo and cold weather gear. They carry boots, camo rain gear, rubber boots, headgear, belts, and more. Gonzalez Military on Burnside in Gonzalez.
St. James Nursery in Gramercy is headquarters for your landscaping needs. They have plants, shrubs, trees, as well as palm trees. See Patrick or Denise Wagaspack or call 869-5254. Roseland Funeral Services remind you to take time to enjoy life and celebrate with your loved ones. Roseland Funeral Services is a locally owned company in Lutcher that's been providing services to the river parishes for many years. Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen with 3 locations offering daily lunch specials is one of our newest sponsors. Pot and Paddle for dine-in, carry-out, and catering. A great place for lunch 7 days a week. Baton Rouge, Denham Springs, and here in Gonzales on Cabela's Parkway. Check them out online at potandpaddle.com.
When you need collision repair, you want your vehicle to look brand new. For a top-quality job, request Allen's Body Shop. Their certified technicians have been doing quality work since 1978. Kenny Allen, owner.
Living in the South, we're sometimes too busy to make it to the bank. And if on the go, like me, use the First American mobile app to check accounts, make transfers, deposits, and a whole lot more. First American, a banking tradition since 1910.
Brignac Physical Therapy in Gramercy specializes in physical, massage, pool therapy, sports rehab, vestibular rehab, and dry needling. Most insurance is accepted. Brignac Physical Therapy. Phone 869-0389.
Got computer problems? Does your computer have a virus? Give us a shot at fixing your computer. Pico Computers has years of experience. Pico will have you up and running in no time. Call today, 647-8882. Bring all your friends to the new Tilted Kilt Sports Pub in Gonzales. Enjoy their wings with signature sauces and rubs, as well as burgers like you've never had anywhere else. The Tilted Kilt, home of the Sports Scene Live TV show, Sundays at 3 p.m.
Ready for our special feature of the week, and that's Pete's Picks. Pete Pasquale in here 9-1 last week, 74-24 on the year, which is better than 75% accuracy on his picks. Boy, that's a pretty good start.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Let's go with West Monroe #1 against Dutchtown, number 17.
All right, I'm picking West Monroe. West Monroe. Well, let's see. I just want to say everybody. Let's keep winning. Like this is kind of maybe unprecedented. All of five schools in the Century Parish won, and 2017 has been a memorable year, and they're all on the brink of being considered best in school history for the football program. But all that counts is what you do in the playoffs. So let's keep winning. West Monroe 32 Central, Ouachita 14-13. They can be beaten. West Monroe can be beaten. If only beat Ouachita 14-13, 28-14 over Ruston. What Dutchtown did this past week against Slidell and against Covington. If you can't beat them, at least beat them up for somebody else, Dutchtown.
All right. Now, how about number 12 Airline and number 5 Santa Maria?
Santa Maria, I'm picking Santa Maria. They're favorite here. They're the 5 seed, the 12 seed. The Airline lost to Ruston, Parkway, Evangel, Cade Nelson, 5 touchdowns. Haley Miller, Mr. Larry, he kind of reminds me of Ronnie Sunshine Bass. I don't know if I should have said that or not, but I think Santa Maria can make it to the semifinals.
All right. Number 6 EA and against number 22 Live Oak.
I'm picking East Ascension. East Ascension should have won 42-0. They won 35-14. It was decisive.
All right, St. James and Madison Prep, and this is a 4 against a 20.
I'm picking St. James. That's going to be tough for Madison Prep, but St. James come off the 39-0 victory over Marksville. They got DeMarcus Williams coming back. He'd be able to lead them. I think St. James is primed for the Dome. To get on a T-shirt. We all want to get on a T-shirt this year.
All right. How about Donaldsonville and Sterlington? 16 against a 1.
I really want to pick Donaldsonville here. Sterlington is undefeated 11-0. I mean, DeVille, the key here is DeVille beat Union Parish in the playoffs 35-29, and Sterlington beat them 40-15. But, you know, you look at Sterlington ain't played nobody, you know, and they 11-0. But, I mean, look at DeVille, they playing St. Charles Catholic, they playing De La Salle. I mean, they playing St. James and stuff. I really want DeVille to win, but it's a long trip to Ouachita Parish, and I just, I'm picking Sterlington.
All right, you've got the Ascension Catholic and St. Edmunds.
Yeah, I want to pick the favorite, but Ascension Catholic should roll over St. Edmund. I mean, 63-7 over Homer Christian. St. Edmund beat 14 seed St. Frederick 22-7. You know, the winner goes on to play Cedar Creek, St. Mary's. Jai Williams, Jamal Barber, John Muir. They get Bubba Gotro might be coming back after he broke his arm to play linebacker. So I like the Ascension Catholic's chances. You know, this is a year for them. Like Southern Lab is on probation, they ain't in the playoffs. They want to do it. They got to do it this year.
LSU traveling up to Knoxville to play Tennessee.
Okay, they're in Knoxville, Neyland Stadium, the checking end zone. Tennessee has no SEC wins. They lost to Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Kentucky, and Missouri. LSU, DJ Chalk, 2 touchdowns. Darius Guys, 3 touchdowns. We need to figure out what to deal with Edling and Brennan and whatever. You know, I'm not even sure Brennan is the future of LSU football. And, you know, it's got to be ruining Edling's confidence or whatever. But let's finish the year strong. They're going to win that easy. You know, Tennessee is 4-6. LSU, I mean, LSU can still win 10 games.
All right, the Saints are at home against the Redskins. And boy, the Saints are on a roll.
Well, the Saints are on a roll. Yeah. Okay, they are 7-2 right now. They beat the snot out the Bills. You know, Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and it looks like Mark Ingram done taking the bull by the horns. The Redskins are coming off a loss to Minnesota. They 4-5. The Saints gonna win, be 8-2. You know, a lot of times when you win 8 games, you make the playoffs, and we're doing it pretty soon.
Yeah, they really turned it around. All right, good luck to you. Have another 9-1 week.
Yes, sir. With the playoffs, man, I hope everybody wins, man. It was exciting this past week.
Pete Pasqua, Pete's Picks.
Welcome, everyone, to Letcher High School outside the Dog Pound, ready to announce our Player of the Week. Sports Scene Magazine, along with St. James Parish Hospital, would like to present this plaque to our Player of the Week. Our plaque sponsor is the Letcher Family Clinic, and Rondell Mealy is our Player of the Week. Congratulations, Rondell.
Thank you. I just want to thank my coaching staff and my team, you know.
Well, I tell you what, it's a great honor to be a Player of the Week, and you guys are now in the playoffs, and it all starts all over again for you. It hasn't been the kind of year you'd hoped for, but now you're 0-0 and you start over again.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
And the playoffs, talk about your opponent coming up. When people see this, you'll have already played them.
You know, they got to be ready, because when I come, I'm coming hard.
That sounds good. Are you a running back, a wide receiver, a kick return guy? What would be your position?
Wide receiver, mostly.
Mostly wide receiver. Now, your dad was a running back, you know, and I want to know if he's giving you any advice or any coaching techniques or anything like that.
All day, every day. It's kind of aggravating, but all right, I'll take it.
I saw Rondell play quite a bit in high school and in college, and of course with the Green Bay Packers, I saw him score a touchdown on a Monday Night Football game. You might have been too young to remember that, though, huh?
Yep, too young. I wish I wasn't.
I imagine he's told you about it, though, huh?
Many times, many times.
Well, I tell you what, Rondell, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully that the playoffs will start a whole new season for you guys, because I know it's been a rough up and down year.
Yes, sir. We could be good.
All right, Rondell, thanks a lot for being with us, and again, congratulations on being our Player of the Week.
Thank you.
Rondell Mealy, Letcher. That's going to wrap up this edition from the Tilted Kilt Sports Scene Live every Sunday at 3 o'clock. Be sure to be here next week. Might be our final one. It's going to be a great one. The playoffs are in full swing right now, and we'll see you next week.